Hey guys, Brett Weiss here. Thank you so much for tuning in to another video. Going to talk about 5 things I absolutely hate about the Sonic the Hedgehog movie. Okay, hate may be a little strong, but 5 things I definitely think they could have done better, that they could have improved upon. Now, you may have seen my Sonic the Hedgehog video movie review, where I really talk about 10 things I really liked about the movie and how much I enjoyed the film in general, but it definitely could use some improvement. It is once again #1 at the box office, 2 weeks in a row. That's awesome. We'll probably see more video game mascot-based movies based on this. The studios love money, and anytime a movie makes a ton of money, there's copycats are bound to follow. So we'll see what happens. Maybe there will be a Bubsy movie. Who knows? So here are 5 things that I absolutely did not like, maybe even hated about the Sonic the Hedgehog movie. Okay, I mentioned in my Sonic the Hedgehog movie review 10 things, 10 reasons I like the movie, that there was fan service at the beginning of the film and at the end of the film, and not really much in the main body of the movie. It took place mainly on planet Earth. Now, towards the beginning of the movie, it showed Green Hills, this fictional city, obviously modeled after the Green Hill Zone in the movie. Why not in the middle of the movie, his transportation rings, why not take him briefly to the Marble Zone, the Spring Yard Zone, the Labyrinth Zone, or somewhere else within the Sonic universe? That would have really been cool. More fan service they had was they were sort of poked fun at Super Mario Brothers a little bit. One of the places Sonic could have been banished to was the Mushroom World, obviously a dig at Mushroom Kingdom. Mushroom World was a gloomy, awful looking place. That was funny, I like that. Why not have a few more digs at Mario throughout the movie? Maybe some references to Bubsy or Arrow the Acrobat or Crash Bandicoot, some other, poke fun at some other franchises. Make this movie a little more fun by having more fan service throughout the film. That's number 5. Needs more fan service. Number 4. That biker bar scene. Now, I referenced this a little bit in my Sonic the Hedgehog movie review, where I was largely positive about the movie. I mentioned that I didn't like for this scene. It felt like padding. It wasn't terribly funny, and it was done much better. A biker bar scene in Pee-wee's Big Adventure. That's what, you watch that scene. It's funny. You got Pee-wee walking, doing his dance on the bar. Great stuff. Very funny. The biker bar scene in Sonic just fell flat, and suddenly, he's moving just in normal motion, and everybody's looking at him, and he's just there, and he doesn't seem like that much of a big deal. People aren't freaking out, whereas earlier in the movie, he was moving real fast, so people wouldn't even notice him. It completely, as far as that conceit of having him be an unknown, unseen character, the biker bar scene just blew that and just sort of seemed completely shoehorned in out of left field. So let's get rid of the biker scene or make it better. That's number 4. Number 3, the plot does copy E.T., the Extraterrestrial, a far superior film, and that's obvious. Very few films like this, alien films or any kind of science fiction movies, are anywhere close to being as good as E.T., the Extraterrestrial. Just a terrific family film, heartwarming film. Sonic is just more of a fun popcorn movie. It does have some substance, it's got the friendship angle, and Sonic has his bucket list that he's trying to check off, but the movie never reaches the emotional resonance or just the spectacular heights of E.T. the Extraterrestrial, even though it copies the plot to a large degree. But hey, kind of hard to blame Sonic for not being as good as E.T., but that is it. But that is one of 5 things I don't like about the film, that it never reaches the heights of E.T., but hey, like I said, hard to blame it anyway. So number 2, the use of the Sonic rings. Now, I thought it was kind of clever that the Sonic rings were used as portals to go from place to place. That's how he gets to San Francisco, and that's how he could potentially go to the Mushroom World. Pretty cool. Didn't have a problem with that. However, why not use the rings also sort of like they did in the game, where that's his lifeline? Like if he has rings, he's got energy, he's got power or whatever, but when he gets down to 1 ring, it gets perilous, where if he loses another ring, he's going to die. I could see some really cool, like sort of exciting scenes in the movie where he's down to 1 ring and, he gets hit, that ring bounces off, and he's desperately trying to get back to it before he dies or whatever. I could see them sort of playing with the Sonic the Hedgehog formula that way, the aspects from the games. The movie really veers very far away from the games, which is fine. This is Hollywood, not a video game. And but I would have seen maybe a little more incorporation of some of the game elements, like I said, some of the worlds, some of the zones, and maybe use the rings a little bit more. I would have also thought it would. They had the perfect setup near the end of the film when Tom proposes to his girlfriend. I thought it would have been so cool if he would have pulled out a Sonic ring and used that as an engagement ring. I don't know. Maybe that's going a little too far with the fan service. My son didn't think that would be a very funny or cool idea, but I thought it would be just kind of funny. Anyway, so that's number 2. Could have made a little better use of the Sonic's rings. They were clever, but maybe harken back to the games a little bit. All right, now you may have seen this one coming. The number 1 thing I hated about the Sonic the Hedgehog movie, Olive Garden. Now, with movies like this, product placement doesn't make me insane like some people. It can bring you out of a serious film if you see just like Coca-Cola cans or any kind of packaged products too prominent. That can bring you out of a serious film. But a silly movie like Sonic the Hedgehog, who really cares? But the Olive Garden product placement just never was really that funny. It actually kind of made me want some soup and breadsticks, so it did its job. It worked, and that's what the studios were looking for. That's what the producer was looking for. So it worked, but Olive Garden scene is just not very funny. Now, speaking of Olive Garden, Italian food purists, food snobs, or whatever, foodies, look very much down on Olive Garden, but like a lot of people say, the breadsticks and soup are very good. If you can get, unlimited breadsticks, 4 different kinds of soups, unlimited for $8.99, that is a good deal. And some people would even admit that. Some foodies will admit that is a good deal. And the breadsticks and soup are very good. Their Italian food in general is very, made fun of. Say the noodles are, just too, whatever foodies would say, maybe they're too limp or too stiff or whatever. I don't know. To me, it tastes okay. Their lasagna is decent, but their chicken parmesan is very good. So if you've been to Olive Garden and you think their spaghetti's lame, not cooked well or whatever, or their just noodles are cheap or whatever, get their chicken parmesan. Not too bad. Never can go wrong with the breadsticks and soup. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching this video on 5 things I hated, or at least didn't like about the Sonic the Hedgehog movie, things that could have made it better. I really appreciate it. Put in the comments below, what did you dislike about the Sonic the Hedgehog movie? What did you hate about it? And what do you think could have made the film a little bit or maybe even a lot better? Thank you for liking the video. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. I really appreciate it, and you guys have a great week.